conversation takes place every evening. We get to talk about topical issues. Those sometimes that are not giving enough attention, and of course those that have gained enough attention too. But we are here to do our job, to ensure that the authorities at the quarters involved do their due diligence, or do what they are supposed to do, and that is exactly what we do here every evening. This show is produced by Promise Eni. All right, on the hot topic this evening, alleged forgery. Tinubu's men reached out to me. Okay, all right. This is, Tinubu's men reached out to me for dialogue after blasting me, Babachir Lawal said. So this is in line with the conversation that we had yesterday about Babachir Lawal saying that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, knew he wasn't going to win the election, and so he rigged. And that Peter Obi, the Labour Party's presidential candidate, won the election. That was a huge accusation. We discussed this yesterday, and this is a follow-up conversation from that. But let's move to another conversation. And there's something that worries me very well about all of the conversations that we have today. I'll let you in on that. But for now, let's keep going, right? Okay, so yes, Senate confirms Olukoyede, Shehu, Hamajuda, appoints. I let you in on that conversation, even though a little drama happened. Anti-corruption fight. Don't use me as example, Akpabio tells EFCC chairman. This was a subtle drama that played out on the floor of the House earlier today, whilst the EFCC chairman was being screened by the senators. Okay, governor's back call for state of emergency in education. I am happy to hear this news, because one of the conversations I plan to really, look at today has got to do with Nigeria's primary education. Well, we'll look at that too. And then, Senator Abo, takes a back seat, or probably reverts his conversation and says, Akpabio not behind my removal. So says embattled Senator Abo as he apologizes to Senator Akpabio. This is interesting, right? I did tell you before, Tinubu's man reaching out to me, says SGF, right? All right, so to other conversations, federal government subsidized electricity with 135.23 billion naira in Q2 2023. Q2 is the second quarter of 2023, so that's between April to June. Okay, so for those of you saying, what is government doing for you? What is government doing for you? Without government, you probably would be buying, paying for lights more expensive. But now, they helped out. So that's a good thing, right? Cheerful news, isn't it? Okay, Tinubu boarded about 84 million Nigerians living in poverty. This is according to the Minister of Finance, Walidu. And then certificate forgery. Nadeco drags Tinubu to ECOWAS. Haba. The same ECOWAS where our president is the chairman. What's going on here? Well, and there's this very sad story about a particular school, primary school in a local government in Edo State, where the kids had to kneel down to beg the state government to please give them classrooms to learn, because the buildings had all, it's collapsing. In fact, it's all collapsed. This is a situation that really does worry me. I'll let you in on that conversation later on. Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have for today. Let's take a little break. I'll be right back to begin dissecting of the conversations one at a time. Stay with us.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
So there was laughter in the Senate today, Wednesday, when the Senate President Godswill Akpabio told acting chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, now confirmed chairman by the way, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, not to use him as an example in anti-corruption fight. So Olukoyede, who appeared before the Senate for screening today, had cited Akpabio's name as an example in his presentation on investigating a graft case, but suddenly stopped when he realized that the mood of the law, because the chamber changed. All of them were like, okay, all right. So his words go stars. He says, if we are investigating the Senate president, for example, I'm just giving for example, Olukoyede said, prompting lawmakers to burst into laughter. The laughter became louder when Akpabio told the EFCC nominee not to cite his name as an example in the investigation of corrupt cases. So Akpabio responding said, I'm very glad that the nominee wants to use the Senate president as an example, but Mr. Nominee, leave the Senate president for now. Look at this direction. He pointed towards the seats of opposition lawmakers and not, so here, Mr. Olukoyede, after the loud laughter, continued his speech without mentioning anyone's name, saying, if you are fighting corruption, you become the enemy of everybody. Now, you recall that Akpabio has a 108.1 billion naira alleged theft of funds, the case before him. And this case is also before the Anti-Graft Agency, EFCC. As a matter of fact, this case is ongoing and a lot of people are wondering, so what's happening? And now you're a Senate president and this case is buried. Okay, so the commission commenced investigation of the former Akwa Ibom governor after a petition by an Abuja-based lawyer and activist, Leo Ekpenyam. The EFCC had detained Akpabio over alleged fraud, but he has consistently maintained innocence. But the case isn't over yet, but he's a Senate president. Perhaps that's why, the entire house bursted into laughter when their EFCC chairman cited him as an example, or used him as an example, perhaps innocently, without even considering or probably remembering that he does have a case indeed with the graft agency, or anti-graft agency rather. So that's it, Lagos. Yes, let's take a quick breather. We'll get back to other conversations and dissecting other conversations after this break. Stay with us, please.
Enugu state government is building a $40 billion economy, among which is the huge international trade center. It is the Oji River Industrial Park, the biggest in Africa, located in Ugwoba, few minutes drive to Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Anambra State. Oji River Industrial Park is financed by African Development Bank, International Finance Corporation, American Exim Bank, Bank of Industry, Infrastructure Development Bank, Central Bank, Taj Bank, Sukuk Funds, and Development Bank of Nigeria. It is time to invest. Don't wait. Oji River Industrial Park has over 150,000 shop spaces and business plaza with state-of-the-art security cameras, fire-resistant walls, hospitals, fast foods, recreational centers, steady power supply, residential spaces for workers and business owners. Indeed, it is time to invest. For more inquiries, visit ojiriveric.com.ng or call Anosike on 0813 180 1541. Jude 0903-194-9623. Adigbo 0704-713-0361. Eda Patrick 0816-817-0210. This project is in partnership with Celeb Group.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Yes, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So yeah, there goes the story of the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and what played out today during the screening of the EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, at the floor of the Senate today. All right. By the way, he's been confirmed alongside others. Alongside his secretary to the EFCC and others. So let's move to another conversation very quickly, shall we? Right. So still talking about Akpabio, the embattled senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, Elisha Abo, has apologized over his allegation that Senate President Godswill Akpabio plotted his removal by the Court of Appeal. I did play that soundbite for you yesterday, where he did say that, that 5 of them who allegedly did not support, or who did not support, not alleged anyway, who did not support the Senate's presidency bid of Godswill Akpabio have been fingered to be, shown the door of the Senate. So, yes, he did say that. He said he's out, that Ojus Okalu will be next. And though the Senate president, through his spokesperson, responded and said, I don't have anything against you, I'm not the court. And he did maintain that the court of law should not be used to, to give a mandate that the people did not give. Right? Okay. So Abo tendered his apology while speaking in an interview on Arise Television today, Wednesday. The other was an interview he had with AIT. Yesterday was, according to him, he said, I have to say with all sense of humility and responsibility, that's the press release we issued yesterday was premature and based on available information at our disposal. As of today, we have discovered a lot of things, and yesterday night I had a discussion with the Senate President, and I am convinced that he is not involved. Okay. He was quoted saying to him, so he said, "I swear by my mother's grave that I am not involved. I don't even know that you're in court." That's what he said. Akpabio said. Then Akpabio said, "I swear by my mother's grave that I am not involved. I don't even know that you're in court." So he said he believes the Senate President for him to swear by his mother's grave. We know this easy. I believe you. So Abu further stated, for a number 3 citizen to come up to tell me that he has sworn on his mother's grave. A woman that he loves so much, a woman who brought him up after he lost his father at the age of 6. I don't see a reason why he would lie. So Abu says. Okay, that's it. So I guess they have made good, right? Let's leave that conversation. Let's move to the next very quickly. Quite some interesting conversations that we have on hand today. Before we get to the matter of former SGF Lawal, let's quickly let you in on what's got to do with your electricity tariff. As the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, good news, NEC, today Wednesday said that the federal government, FG, paid a total of 135.23 billion naira to subsidize electricity consumption in the second quarter of 2023 between April and June. That is, this was made known in the Commission's Q2 2023 report posted in its website. Right. So NEC said that the 135.2 billion naira was spent by the federal government to plug revenue generation shortfall in the power sector in that period. I don't want to go deep into this, but if you recall, sometime in June, the House of Representatives, the NEC actually had said there were talks about the increase of electricity tariff, but the House of Representatives unanimously and graciously so did decline that. Nigerians are going through a lot already. There's the float of naira going on or dollar going on, and then there is a subsidy removal. It will be unfair to put more bill on Nigerians by also increasing the tariff. However, this whole Q2 thing happened even way before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. So we're hoping that, to hear the news of how much they have also helped us pay for Q3 and Q4 that would come, All right. So let's move to another conversation shortly. For those who are saying, what's government doing for you? I just thought to bring that story so that you know that government is also working. It is good news, right? Okay. So another good news is that Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Idun, has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not comfortable with the fact that 84 million Nigerians are living in poverty. 84. That is, they are living in less than $1 per day. That is, people don't get up to 1,000 naira per day again. How many people even have up to 1,000 naira per day again? Are you sure they're no more than 84 million? Okay, I don't know. Well, and this is actually different from the 133 million others living in multi-dimensional poverty. That means the ones that are very, very poor, 84 million, they're different from the 134 million living in multi-dimensional. The multi-dimensional people, poverty of nutrition, poverty of, that is a new feature balance diet. Poverty of, I can't buy gas, I can't cook with good energy, like with healthy energy to use charcoal. Poverty of, there is no education for your kids, no school, like the story that I want to, emphasize on today. Poverty of, there is no access to healthcare. That one is a multidimensional. That one is different from this 84 million people. That's, the fact. So, Edu stated this during the launch of a renewed Hope Conditional Cash Transfer Initiative at the Presidential Villa. You'd recall that the minister noted also that the situation makes ending poverty a priority for the administration. That is, this administration must end poverty. See, now one thing we didn't carry for mind. Noting that the 25,000 naira conditional cash transfer to 15 million households will help address the problem of the most vulnerable in a short term. Like the fact that he emphasized that it's in a short term. Right. Okay. Yes. So he said that the government said for 3 months, 15 million poor households will get 25,000 naira cash support, for which 1.25 trillion naira has been provided. So they will get it, for a period of 3 months. So they are getting October, November, December. At least Christmas go pure for a lot of households. 25k can do something. Even if you cannot buy half bag of rice anymore, because right now half bag of rice is more than 25,000, but you can buy something, some cups, right? It targets over 61 million vulnerable Nigerians and is designed to cushion the petrol subsidy removal pain. Edu said it's the number of poor Nigerians. It's totally unacceptable to the president as it is to the rest of us. That is why it is perhaps his number one priority, the president's number one priority, to tackle poverty, and has a program to stabilize and grow the economy of Nigeria. That is it. Good news there, right? Okay, so let's move on very quickly to other conversations before we get to Babachir's issue. All right. Yes. So, concerning certificate forgery, the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, has dragged the allegations of certificate forgery against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The pro-democracy group, in a letter to ECOWAS, urged the regional body to probe the allegations, especially as they bother on the president's certificate from the Chicago State University. Quoting now, the allegations are not only detrimental to the reputation of ECOWAS, but also raise significant questions about the moral and legal fitness of President Tinubu to continue leading this esteemed regional body. You recall that he's the chairman of ECOWAS. Now, a copy of the letter, which dated Tuesday, October 10th, last week, and signed by the executive director of the NADECO USA, Lloyd Uku, stated that it was morally questionable and globally embarrassing for a president facing such allegations to hold such prominent position with our regional body or regional organization, the letter quoted. With our regional organization is the quote. The letter read, "I write to you on behalf of NADECO USA, a pro-democracy group dedicated to the preservation and promotion of democratic values in Nigeria and the West African sub-region. NADECO USA is also writing to you today in its capacity as a concerned corporate citizens for the West African region, deeply committed to the principles of justice, transparency, and integrity that are fundamental to the success of our esteemed regional organization, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Firstly," the letter says, "we would like to express our utmost appreciation for the significant strides that ECOWAS has made over the years in promoting regional stability, economic cooperation, and sustainable development within West Africa. The collaborative efforts of member states under your membership have undoubtedly contributed to the advancement of our region. However," they now said, it is with deep concern that we bring to your attention a matter of utmost importance regarding the leadership of ECOWAS. NADECO raises a matter of grave concern that demands our immediate attention. We believe that it is crucial for ECOWAS to uphold the highest standard of integrity and credibility in its leadership, which is paramount for the success of the organization and the region as a whole." The letter long share, I cannot read all of it, but I have given you, and what they said is what I had summarized, just so you know. Okay, so now let's go straight to Babachir Lawal. As former secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF Babachir Lawal, said some key allies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration have reached out to him following his statement yesterday, Tuesday, that Labour Party's presidential candidate P2B won the last presidential election. Lawal was reacting to a Tuesday night statement by the All Progressives Congress APC, wherein its spokesman, Felix Morka, described him as incapable of rational thoughts. Okay, so the former SGF was at a time the national vice chairman, Northeast of the party. However, offered his sympathies to Morka, saying he was doing the job of his slave. That is, say Morka will tell him, say, he no fit reason well. Say that one, they do slave work. Why are these people giving each other bad mouth like this now? So, describing APC as an Islamic party which takes decision using prayers where Morka is not present, Lawal insisted that Obi won the last election, saying the thief knows who stole the item. Yeah, unquote. That's what he put it. That's where he put it. That's the thief knows who stole the item. That's the quote. That's the statement, not me. So according to him, all that was now left for the party is a change of name, adding that even this may not take long since it already has the Kadmu Islam, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, as its national chairman and a Muslim as the national secretary, a Muslim as the president, a Muslim as the vice president. So now to change the name to Kukumaton to Muslim, Abi Islam, a Muslim party. That's what he said. So he said, you'd recall that, by the way, SGF Lawal was one of those who vehemently opposed to the Muslim ticket of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I just thought to state that clear so that we'll understand where he is coming from with this conversation. So he said the Deputy National Chairman North, who acts as in absence of the chairman, National Organizing Secretary, National Legal Advisor, and 3 national vice chairmen are more are Muslims. All of these people are all Muslims. The statement, which was titled Political Discourse, the APC Reaction and Its Castigation of My Person, reads, I woke up this morning to a very pathetic social media trending write-up, apparently a response to my article on the current political discourse by Felix, allegedly of the APC. I suspect he was assigned this role because it is in the nature of sycophants and people consigned to second-class status to be assigned roles that their masters are very wary of taking on. Usually, the dirty, unsavory jobs are contracted out to such. In the Bible, he quoted a certain Felix, after which this Felix was probably named, was a freed slave who had a reputation of cruelty as the ruler of Judea in order to please his master, the Emperor Claudius, of whose mother Felix was a slave. Quoting him now, he says, again, I really do sympathize with a Christian, or is he not? So he says, who finds himself in an Islamic party and is desperate to please his masters and probably to be noticed when the next round of political appointments come. Now, still quoting, he says, when we founded APC way back in 2013, 2014, we envisaged it will be a national party that will carry along all the different socio-political and religious tendencies of the nation. In those days, we were careful not to sideline any of the religions or tribes of the country in the composition of the membership and leadership of the party. We wanted a party that will embrace all Nigerians. It was this that informed the principle that both the national chairman and secretary will not be of the same religion, tribe, or region. Sadly, APC has now transitioned into an Islamic Party of Nigeria. All the members, did you hear that? Islamic Party of Nigeria, right? That's what he said. So all the members of the National Working Committee from North and some from the South are all Muslims. They campaigned on an Islamization platform and are thriving hard to run the government as such, but for the resistance of other regions or religions. He said plenty. He said plenty. And this letter is long. Please don't let me read all of them. Yesterday, people made me read almost all of it. But today, please don't put me into that torture. Put me through that torture. Or do you think I should continue? Should I continue? Right? Okay, so let's see if we can go a little bit deeper into the letter. So, quoting him further, he said, all that is now left is for the party to change of, okay, I mentioned that. And he said, change the party to change name, but even this may not take long since it already has. I said that. He said, and talking of electoral value, both the national chairman and the national secretary just dramatically lost in the May election. I suspect Malam Felix didn't do well in his own constituency either. It is based on this consideration that I pity a Christian who finds himself in the position of a spokesperson of an Islamic party. Mark my words, all critical decisions will be taken behind his back during the afternoon prayer sessions, which he will not be able to attend. of course, because he's a Christian. Oga Lawal said plenty again today, like the one he said yesterday was not enough. Then he further says, as to the substance of the response itself, the cocoa or the cocoa of the matter, I find it deliberately obtuse, skirting around the real issues raised in my press statement. It was empty of substance and logic, a true product of a sycophantic mind that has no capacity to understand the subtle nuances underlying a message delivered to a discerning audience. Okay. Madam Felix, your masters got the message loud and clear because some of them have reached out to me for dialogue on the issues raised. That's what he said. He said, he's calling Oga Felix more cow. That he's now Madam Felix. Madam Felix. So he now said, like, your masters have reached out to me concerning the issues raised. Okay. Because some of them have reached out to me for dialogue on the issues raised. But in line with your lower status in the scheme of things, you are not aware that all of these issues I raised were designed in a manner to deliver a message to a discomfited government that is populated by long-standing friends of mine who appear to have abandoned common sense and patriotism for unbridled personal goals and filthy lucre. And they got the message, which you cannot. In this discourse, you are a remote outsider, so shut up. Anyway, quoting him further, or quoting his letter or his reaction further, he says, we want a Nigeria that works for all. We want a Nigeria that even sycophants can relate to, and in which everyone is free to pursue their ambitions in peace, in pursuit of prosperity and good life. We want a Nigeria that guarantees freedom of speech for its citizens, just as you and I are doing right now. If, as Bola Tinubu claims, that he fought Babachir on the side of democracy and free speech, it is unbecoming and unacceptable that the NBC should threaten journalists under his watch. So, is it indefensible to keep the EFCC chairman? He says, okay, is it indefensible? That's supposed to be a question, right? So, is it indefensible to keep the EFCC chairman and the CBN governor under arrest for extended period of time without or before trial? That's the question. Just as it is also unacceptable that political parties are used to intimidate and harass citizens exercising their opinions in the public domain. Who are these political parties? Okay. And then he says, I am sure even you and the APC can relate to this. I am also sure that, but for their blind hatred of other Nigerians, not of their tribe or religion, even the Islamists that you serve and desperately seek to please can relate to this. I am sure that no Nigerian is enjoying the national shame and embarrassment we are going through as a result of these unending revelations as who or what our president actually is, or that most Nigerians cannot be sure of at least one meal a day anymore, or that we can no more attend wedding ceremonies in Imo or Zamfara state due to insecurity. Know what you say. So he further says, know what you may, say what you may. I hold firmly to my assertion that Peter Obi had the majority votes in the May 23 presidential election. That was why both INEC and APC had to go rogue in the election. And they know this fact, even if they will not admit it. After all, the thief knows who stole the item, he ended. And then quoting, he says, the man dies in all who keep silent in the face of tyranny. Quoting Wale Soyinka, you have my sympathy. End of response. Lagos, phone lines are open. Let's take your calls and reactions. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 9. We thought yesterday's one was a bus. This is more like a boat. All right. Okay, so let's begin to take your calls and reactions on the conversations. I have quite a lot of WhatsApp messages already trooping in. Let's see if we can begin to take them one at a time as we go. This says, Adegbo Igadidiji says, you said Mr. Edu said President Tinubu isn't happy that 84 million Nigerians are living in poverty, and the only way to remove these people from poverty is to share 25,000 naira to certain people they believe needed it more than others. Please tell me, Wale Edu and presidents, are they confused? That's what the Boyega said. And he says again that Precious is the same Babachir Lawal that used 500,000 naira to cut grass in Abuja you're talking about, or the one that traveled to the moon, the one that used money, is the grass cutting money. Yes, I beg, this one is not news. Am I not an APC fan? Okay, I am not an APC fan, but this talk doesn't deserve attention. 500 million naira. Yeah, I get. Thank you. That's what you said. Okay, so I take more responses. This is, good evening, Precious. Finance Minister admitted that 84 million Nigerians are living in poverty, and he knows that the people that cause Nigerians to be living in poverty are greedy, wicked, heartless, and corrupt politicians like him. And Nadeko has dragged Tinubu to ECOWAS because of false certificates he submitted to INEC. Is a welcome development. Leo from Lagos. His father says, former Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, said P2B wanted 5% of the February 25 presidential election is 100% true, and should be careful what's happened to former Central Bank Governor will not happen to him. He even did mention what happened to former Central Bank Governor anyway in that response. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes.
Precious, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yes, I am. I can hear you.
You
okay?
Yes. What I wanted to say is that I was expecting 2 trillion to share both rich and poor in this country. Since they don't have bearing to develop this country as other nations did. So it means that in future we are going to get more problems that either to divide us or they wanted to create war against ourselves. So this regime called Tinubu, they don't have anything to offer the Nigerians. Let him use 2 trillion and share to every big and small, every country, every state receive it.
All right.
That is the only way to go.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Let the allowing protection to go, to move on.
All right, thank you.
A protection of rights. We cannot feed ourselves. We are just deceiving ourselves.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Oil company is not working, and the kafar are dominated everywhere. That is why you look at it, they cannot
Thank you, sir.
be able to handle it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So,
thank you. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Madam Precious. How you doing
I'm
today?
very well,
Good evening, Madam Precious. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Oh, is this AY? AY, hi.
Yeah, yes, it is AY.
Go ahead.
How you doing today, ma'am?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm well. So yesterday I wasn't able to talk about the former CJF. Is that what it's called?
SGF.
Yeah.
SGF. Secretary to the government.
SGF, the grass cutter. Oh yeah, I remember the SGF whose solution to the Naira dropping was to cut the grass around Abuja, because you know the people that were changing the currencies, they were under the bush. So in order to boost the currency, we're gonna cut the grass. A project approved by none other than Mr. Emefiele. You remember that, Madam Precious?
Why will I not remember? You saw me, I cited that already.
Oh, of course you do. These guys are clowns.
Okay, go ahead.
They're clowns. They might be deceiving them, but they're not deceiving us. See, Madam Precious.
Sir?
A broken clock can be right twice a day. This man only came up because he has not been fed. Madam Precious, don't look at it any other way. He was not fed in this administration So he's discontent. But in his wailing and in his tantrum, he's also speaking the truth. There's a truth in there that I'm going to extrapolate real soon.
Okay.
He made points. He made points. He made points that were, he made some valid points. The government, the Islamization of Nigeria, that's an agenda that has been, that has been perpetrated by, General Buhari. So, this guy that is there right now is just, continuing the perpetration. He made that point, which was also valid.
You do know that you don't.
He also made the point
to this fact.
The point
this is not a fact, right? You know that.
What is?
You know you do not have an evidence. You cannot prove this. If you were asked
okay, let's go to the appointments. Would you like to go to the appointments with me?
Just
of the cabinet.
Just hurry up. Hurry up. We don't.
Come on, he's majority Muslim. Madam Precious, you know the appointments and you know the religions of everybody around this administration, and you know he's 80% Muslim. Let's stop deceiving each other. The point I'm trying to make is what he said about the election. Don't be surprised if he's picked up, is the point I'm trying to get at. He might be picked up. They might try to silence him. You cannot deceive everybody at the same time. Some people always say the truth. Madam Precious, we all know who won the election for the love of God. If there's any God everybody respects in this country. We all know who won the election. Let's stop kidding ourselves. Now, it's left for the Nigerian people to say if they are going to allow this perpetual fraud. Are there not enough men of goodwill in this country that we call Nigeria to stand up and say no to fraud? We will find out. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. You too have a good day. All right. This message says, this is the wrong number to send your message to, but I'll just read it, right? You did say, Precious, I'm Joshua from Ikpaja. My take is if Nigerians don't want to have high blood pressure, we shouldn't talk. We should talk less, rather, of what is happening. You are really doing a good job. God bless you. God bless you too. You too. You're doing a good job, but we have to talk about it. Yes. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Do you want to talk to me? I can hear you.
My name is Mr. I'm calling from Ajorobi.
Your name? I didn't get your name anyway, but go ahead.
Are you hearing me? Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
See, I just want to talk about Babachir Lawal.
Go ahead.
Regardless of the position or the cutting grass of a thing, almost everybody in that administration embezzled our money. So, but that doesn't mean he has.
So you're saying that he's not alone. You're saying that he's not alone in that eating of money. That everyone is guilty, some one way or the other.
I can begin to mention AGF, Accountant General. Is he not part of that former administration? MFL is part of that former administration. I can go on and on. They have cases, all of them. Almost all of them have cases. Even those who even had the Sirika that was a aviation minister in that same administration, he had his own case. So let's leave that by the way. What I'm trying to say about this Babachir Lawal, he has been standing against this Muslim ticket since, and he has come out to say it.
Yes, he's been very vocal about it. Yes.
Yeah.
He's been very vocal about it. Yes, I agree with you.
So he has never supported it. Even at a point, he was fighting with Dugara. All of a sudden, Dugara chickened out. He was a lone voice in the wilderness. Nobody supported it. He has been standing against this Muslim ticket. And for somebody who is part and parcel of this party to come out and to tell us this evening that this party is an Islamic party, what else do we need to know? Do we need a prophet to tell us about that? And you see how everything was going. So these people does not carry the interest of Nigerians at heart. They are moving to Islamize this nation. And the earlier we begin to stop them, the better. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Can you help me turn off the volume of your listening device, please? Thank you.
Sorry. Good evening, Auntie Precious.
Good evening. Thank you. Welcome. What's your name, please?
Blessing from Ikeja. I've been trying to call since yesterday, no response.
Oh, hi. The same Blessing?
Yes, ma.
Oh, hi, Blessing. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
All right. How's everything now?
We bless God, ma. I want to say very big thank you to Mr. Paul, Mr. Ndobisi, Mr. Biodo, Mr. Sebastian, Mr. Ugo. The other uncle said I should not bother about the name. I want to say thank you to everybody, to you, to VOP, that the Lord will replenish all of you in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you. Take care
Thank
of
you
yourself.
so
Blessing.
very
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you. Right and bye. Hello. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, please. Good evening. Can you help me turn up the volume of your radio?
Yes, I'm on it already.
All right. Go ahead. Welcome.
Okay. Good evening, Madam Precious. It's been
Thank
a
you so
while.
much. Good evening. Thank you. Welcome.
This
What's
is
your-
Remadu calling from Bojo.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to jump on the issue of
So
Babachir Lawal.
the volume of your radio is still high. I don't know if you enjoy that haul back. It's a bit tacky.
Is it still high?
Well, can't you just turn it off totally instead of you to be delaying others from calling? You can turn it off totally.
That's what I'm looking at.
Or you walk out of it totally. Or walk away from your radio. It's just that easy.
I've done that already.
All right,
so
then
I'm still confused.
it's fine now. It wasn't fine just a while ago. Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you. All right,
That's it.
concerning the issue of Babachir Lawal, now, in as much as he's had some cockroach in his cupboard for some time now, or before now, that does not mean every individual will be blind when they see the truth. You understand me? This is so obvious. The agenda of this particular political party in the country is not of good. Now, moving on to the other issue of somebody saying 85 million Nigerians are poor, and the only solution to our problems is sharing 25,000 naira to these persons.
Not to the 84
Now,
people, though. It's
how
15
many?
million household, though. That means they're
Okay,
sharing
15 million.
25,000 times 15, no. Household.
Okay.
They're giving to households.
Household, not even individuals.
One household.
Household.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the clarity. Now, tell me, what will 25,000 naira do to 16 to a household? Precious, we both know, even 200,000 naira cannot, with the present situation of this country, cannot take people away from poverty. 200,000 naira. Now, what is the plan? Is it to inflict more pains of persons, to feed them for just tomorrow so that they can be hungry for tomorrow, or it is to alleviate them from poverty? I don't want to believe that these persons who are leading us doesn't have strategies and are not ready and fit to be leaders. Because with these very few agenda we are seeing and very few statements these persons are making, it is so imminent and obvious that we have unfortunately been given, because I can't tell you we elected these people. We have been given people who wants to just, let me not use the word for the sake of public speaking and the rest. So please and please, one thing about the country is there's no time we turn on the news or we read our newspapers that we get something comforting. It is so disheartening that the country and we citizens have allowed this country to be doomed or to go to the level it is going now. We are turned into a laughing stock in the whole of the world. And anytime somebody hears the name Nigeria, it is synonymous to fraud. So if the number one citizen of the country is still being accused of certificate forgery, and all what we could do is to watch, and then people start looking for words that they are going to use to paint evil, saying that it is not certificate forgery, it is this way. At this point, is this the most important? Now look at what the greed of a single individual is costing all of us now.
Oh yeah. No.
Let me get to my case.
Just please.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right then. Okay. All right. So the Secretary to the Government of Federation said Peter B 125% presidential election. Okay, yeah, I think I took that message. And then it says, pressing way no win his polling unit is saying someone else won election. And then if NEC had revealed a colossal sum of money in aid to power sector, power subsidy, why do the likes of Ikeja Electric, Eco DC continue to charge soaring tariff? Soaring? They've not increased tariff, at least the much we know, not like they wanted to increase. You know that they said there was plan to increase tariff by 40% after, at the wake of President Tinubu's administration. And Rep had to clamp down on that. And that is not yet effected. All right. So he now said, despite inconsequential confession of Babachir Lawal, let it be known that whatever is done in secrecy always comes to light. No matter how long Lawal, being one of those who assisted the procure President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's nomination form to make such a confession, then the allegation should not be swept under the carpet in an ideal society. Half population of, if not 34 to third, you said, are living in extreme poverty. It must assert that almost all Nigerians have been made vulnerable by insensitive policies and this administration and its predecessors. Right. Tony Anelli sent in that. And Mr. Last says, Precious, I am so excited that your YouTube, to get your YouTube and your Instagram channel is like you won a lottery. Thank you so much, Mr. Ola from Chicago. God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And Agege from Agege says, it is not new that LP Peter Obi and that team won the 2023 presidential election. Even the blind knew that Obi won. However, most Nigerians might be silent about the daylight robbery and let go of it. It's pertinent for us Nigerians to know that the heavens are watching and God's wrath is severe. Agege from Agege sent in that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Good evening. All right, don't know if you're there. So let me take Mark from Agege. He says, good evening. The finance minister and the president are just confused. Why? You say, what is the evidence that 84 million people are poor? According to your own way of asking questions, a lot of these guys in government are just stuck as, can you say that, stuck illiterate? And it shows when they come out with the kind of thing that comes out to formulate, and they formulate and implement policies that favor the people. How, in the love of whatever anyone worships, will any intelligent person give out small money to a few people at a total cost that can build a refinery that will benefit the whole country? How do you do that? You say these people need to go back to school, and not a Chicago type of school, a proper one. That's what you're saying. Oga, why did you come with machete to a fight of just fist? Why are you doing like this? And then, Joshua, my bad. It's actually the right platform that he sends the message. So he said, yeah, I appreciate you. And then he said, a first timer on any radio or television program. We are all aware, even APC knows they didn't win the election. As said by Mr. Babachir Lawal, kudos to the great work you're doing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Hello. Good evening to you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. So welcome.
Yeah. Good evening.
You're welcome.
I just want to make my contribution.
Okay. So what's your name, Sam? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Nathan.
All right.
And I'm calling from UK.
Mr. Nathan, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. Yes. The problem of that country is so complex now that nobody knows where to start. Do we talk about the 25,000 pounds given to a household when they will go back and be given
25,000 pounds?
One.
Did you say 25,000 pounds, sir?
Sorry, Naira.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay, I just want to...
Naira. Yes. Naira. When they will go back and be given, is it 200 million Naira dollar car to each person at the Senate? Is that the one we will talk? Now, concerning the APC and the Muslim candidate they feel there, APC is taking advantage of the gullibility of Nigerians, because when they were doing that, no Nigeria raised a finger and said, no, this is not supposed to be like that. Even if they did, they weren't serious. And now the governor, recall that the governor in Kaduna bragged that they have done it and they will do it again. So what that means is that Buhari succeeded in Islamizing the country, making sure that APC will remain perpetually in government in Nigeria. They will rig the election again, mark my word. So what I'm trying to tell us is that this APC government, they came in and were blaming PDP. Oh, PDP did this, Jonathan did this, but they forgot that PDP, I'm not a PDP man, but PDP was 200 better than APC, even up till tomorrow. Do you recall how much exchange rate was when Tinubu, Buhari came into power in 2015? Exchange rate per pound was 240, between 240 to 250 per pound when Okonji Iweala was the Minister of Finance. But today, do you know, can you remember what exchange rate is today? As I speak now, as of today, is 1,290. Okay, naira per pound today as I speak.
Dollar is about 1,100 naira. It's crazy.
Oh, okay, but I'm talking about pound. That is the one I can vouch for.
Okay.
So this is why Nigerians are suffering and cannot afford 3 square meals a day. And a nation that cannot feed her children, what type of nation is that? They are traveling out, going to lobby people to come to invest in a country where there is insecurity. Which country in the world will come to invest? Let them come back and sit down and control their country, fight insecurity. They do not need to lobby any country in the world to come to invest in their country if they fight insecurity and there is peace and there is enabling environment for business. They do not need to lobby any nation of the world because countries of the world are looking for where they will invest. So this is something they do not know. Tinubu is not going to change anything. Mark my word. He is going to waste another 8 years. Buhari wasted and went out. This is what he is going to waste again. By the end of his tenure, it will be 16 years of APC, 16 years of crying and weeping and gnashing of teeth. This is unfortunate. That is why I said we do not know where to start. Everything has scattered. Somebody sang it as a song everywhere, Jaka, everything scattered.
Right, so
I'm tired myself. So thank you very much.
Thank you to appreciate you. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello. Yes, good evening, welcome. Don't do this when you call me, please. If you call, try to turn off the volume of your radio set. It's actually not that difficult to do. Hello, good evening. Hello. You want to talk to me? I should move on. Hello. All right. Okay. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening, please. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Joshua.
Yes, please. Good evening.
Coming from Alabama.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I have a one question to ask. This money, 25,000 naira to household. The National Assembly is aware of it.
There's no way they cannot be aware of it now.
They cannot confront the president that this thing cannot be done, so that they can use that money to refund our resources.
Oh God, the thing has started already now. We cannot be crying over his spilled milk now. The project has started taking off already.
Yeah, are you sure that? How long to make it
for 3 months? It's 3 months. They give October, November, December, and a total of 1.3 trillion naira will be spent. They're about 3.3 trillion something.
If you didn't,
the way you're asking me, are you sure? You're asking me, am I sure? Like, I'm the government, right?
No, because Nigeria, they have been deceiving us.
Remember that it's just 15 million households that are giving them money.
That 15 million housing is for a personal house. Is it 3 million naira and somebody is getting a vehicle of 130 million? Is it good? So pour adjective poverty to every human being in this country, but those people cannot get to the National Assembly. Is it good? That is my own.
All right, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sister Precious.
Yes, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, this is, sir.
Ouch.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mr. Ibu calling. Sorry, I had a sharp money that they want to start disposing 25,000. Is it true?
I heard now.
Hey,
15 million households now.
When is this one coming up? When is it starting?
It was kicked off yesterday. Kicked off yesterday.
Wow, and I've not received any alert.
Why will you receive? Are you poor and vulnerable?
Hey, you see something this country, Nigerians, we have the highest, we have maximum personnel when it comes to intelligence. They are very wise. In every state, we have wise people, we have intellectual and everything. We are very smart. But still, we are, forgive me to use this word, we are so dumb in a way, in the sense that we allow some things to play us, despite the fact that we are smart. We still allow some group of people to play with our senses, with our emotion. How would such a thing? Now we are talking about minimum wage 30,000. What prevents those at the top not to give minimum wage to people that are working, but they have that money to give charity? This is to tell you that they have this money, they can do this thing, but they will never implement it.
So are you saying that it is better? Calm down, please. Sorry. Are you saying that it is better to keep giving those who are already working than to give those who don't even have anything and are poor and they can't eat? Is that what you're saying?
You see something. Nigeria, we are called giant of Africa.
So if we're faulting things, let's fault rationally now. That's what I'm saying. Are you suggesting that they increase the salaries of those who are already working and earning something? And we have thousands or millions of people without employment, and they should not give anything to those who don't even have employment at all. Retirees who don't have a means of livelihood, they shouldn't give them anything.
Okay, fine. It's a good thing, but the point is this: how would they know these people that are vulnerable? Can they locate them?
Have figured it out now. They have a register now. They figured them out. They have a register.
You see, that's why I said we have intellectuals, we have people who are smart and have everything, but still, we are still mumu in our country. Because if you come to Egbeda now, for example, we have people that how would they have access to these people? That's the point.
All right.
So now they force us to get NIN and all of that. Are you hearing me? NIN. These are means they can use to just forfeit and pump money into people's accounts. So they should stop playing with our emotions. We are so wise. They should stop playing with our emotions. If they really want to give people money, let them go as far as sending money to people's account directly.
Thank you, sir.
Not all these. Yeah, thank you. Nigeria.
Sorry. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Madam President.
Good evening. Can you help me turn off the volume of your radio, please?
I've done it.
All right, go ahead, please.
Madam Eunice from Agege.
Yes, go ahead, please, ma'am.
Thank you for work well done.
Thank you.
You have been trying for us and you have been giving us chance to talk.
Thank you.
For finding this, our president, they have to think where and use this money wisely. All this money they are sharing is not going to help Nigeria people. We need roads. They can use the money to build roads. They can use the money to do many things that will benefit Nigerians. All this money they are sharing from Buhari to Tinubu again, is that the work of APC? Is that what they call Nigerians to do? To be filtering money up and down without using it importantly for Nigeria people? It's not just good for Tinubu again to continue where Buhari started. Buhari put us in this mess, and this man started again with the shoe, through that he want to wear the shoe of Buhari. Instead of to gather all this money to build refinery or to repair one refinery, now to December, we will see the work of the refinery and Nigeria people will start enjoying it. Or it should reduce the money back to 300 naira per liter. Instead of using the money to pay, use it to help Nigeria because of subsidy. Let it reduce the pump price to 300 to 250. All Nigeria will benefit for this. All this one is doing, I don't think there is headway for it. It's just trying to share the money to maybe for coming election for people to vote for him with this forgery result that is replacing the Nigeria and all the things that he's doing. Please help us because
right,
you are
you
are the mouth of Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right and bye. All right, Emeka Ijeoma from Ejimbo says, I wish it's all a dream that Nigeria is going through. All these endless travails. Somebody should wake me up to realities. There is fire on the mountain, but no one is running. Asha said that already. Good evening, Precious. I want to tell Nigerians to get up and start looking into the APC agendas before it's too late, because these revelations are from God. God cannot come down to fight for us, just like Israelites and Palestinians. And I feel that this revelation is warning to Nigerians by God. From Jude in Okota, Jude from Okota sent in that message. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome. Hello?
Oh, Father, let her pick it. Let her pick it. Oh, hello.
She has picked it. Good evening.
This is Remy.
Remy, you don't reach to open prayer for my head, Abi.
I did do.
Sorry.
Like, madam, you don't say to enter your kingdom, not be by mouth, though. Okay.
Sorry, no vex. Welcome, Remy.
Thank you. I can believe.
How are you today?
I'm not bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Go ahead.
Well done.
Thank you.
You see, so that my brother that was thinking it was 1,290 pounds. That's not correct. It's 1,302. Yeah. Exactly.
Additional 12 naira.
Exactly. Now you see the issue here. I think it's important. Repeating failed policy does not suggest any level of intelligence in those who are perpetrating that act. Because the previous administration did this money sharing. What happened? Did they not have record? Can they not do impact evaluation? If that works, why is the figure of people in poverty rising by the day? So that's for that. Regarding Muslim ticket, you see, I'm a kind of person that I really don't like to talk about religion or tribe. I live in a society where your intelligence will work for you, where you don't have to know Precious at VOA to get anywhere. You get my point?
Yes, please.
However, Tinubu APC showed disrespect to Nigerians, and then they were saying, "Oh, it's not about religion." Even when the so-called audio leak of Obi was released, and they themselves were accusing Obi, saying Obi was playing religious war.
Yes.
And eventually, El-Rufai came out and said it was a religious agenda. We Muslims, we have to take over. It is a Muslim thing. No, now I believe clearly that El-Rufai's stand was not representing the view of all Muslims in Nigeria, okay? But it shows they have an agenda and they've gone for it. Now, let me tell you this, guys. People that have this mentality running your country, don't expect anything from them. You cannot behave like this and expect collective prosperity. Work for yourself alone. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, I run through some messages now. This is good evening, Precious. Babachir Lawal, he's just a frustrated man. He's just lamenting to make relevance. That's what he said. But you didn't state your name. Uche from Surulere says, hello, Precious. Please, can he capture in the national social? Can we be captured? Is that what you're saying? How can we capture rather in the national register to enable me benefit from the cash transfer? I am one of the vulnerable Nigerians, unfortunately. So every local government, you can access that in almost every local government, right? So it's in almost every local government. But unfortunately, I think they're already done with this register. I don't know. It's not like they can keep adding people as they go. So this may not be very possible. But you can try to go to your local government and ask this question. Good evening, Precious. The guys are just cashing out. Anna Paul from Coca sent in that message. And then Godfrey from Surulere says, for the records, please note that the grass-cutting allegation against Lawal Babachir was dismissed by the court, which means that he wasn't guilty of the offense. So let's put it in the right perspective. talking about the winner of the 2023 presidential election. That is what he is saying, is that we already know he is very correct 100%. Only that shameful manipulation and transmission of the presidential election that held the same time with the National Assembly, one tells it all. So only that shameful thing would have, been able to tell the real scenario. That's what you're saying. Good evening, Precious. You don't need a better proof of the Islamization agenda of Nigeria than the Abuja Declaration of 1989. You can Google it. Pastor Bosun Emmanuel cried out in 2015 about the APC's Islamization agenda, but tribalism, greed, and unbridled personal ambition blinded the eyes of the people. He said, Google Islamic agenda for Nigeria. Pastor Bosun Emmanuel, the man of God, revealed a lot. Livings sent in that message. And then he says, good evening, Precious. The APC Almajiri mentality should stop. We are tired of this cluelessness. Regards from Oko Sisi in Surulere. And then I have another message that says, as a continuation, some of the people in power now said that Jonathan should be removed because dollar went from 120 to 200. It was even 190 something. They said it was crazy. And then Jonathan was removed for the little. Yeah, just look at the economic indices now compared to Jonathan's time. If the APC wants Nigerians to be happy, let them share the equivalent of the jeeps bought for the legislators to all families in Nigeria. That's now what's going to make you happy. My brother, you have a dream more. I didn't know you were Martin Luther King. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Did I lose you? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, welcome. Good evening.
Precious.
Sir.
How are you today? My name is Mr. Biga.
Mr. Biga, my Oga, how far? Welcome, sir.
Oh, well, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I certainly want to talk about this Babachir Mohammed position on Islamization of Nigeria.
Okay.
Precious.
Sir?
There are lots of things we take for granted in this country. Babachir Mohammed was a secretary to the federal government of Nigeria. So he has privileged information. Therefore, some of the things he said should not be taken lightly.
He said that most of the people in the party are his friends, so he knows what he's saying.
Good. Good. That's to let you know that what I am saying, that's what he is saying, should be taken serious. Because most of the people there are his friends and they exchange ideas. Do you know that Turkey was once a Christian dominated country?
I know that story, sir.
You know that?
Yes, I do.
Now, what is this? I am not happy that we tend to allow the way I worship my God to determine my position over things. That is bringing in religion into issues. But you can see that a lot of persons, especially people in governance and in government from Buhari's period to date, are doing it. It's not acceptable. The way I decide to worship God I believe in should not be anybody's business. And the time we leave that alone, and the time we leave where you come from in this country alone, and the time we consider people based on their character, on their capacity, until we do it, this country is heading to, well, if I say that, you will now tell me that I should
You will
not.
not appreciate you, Mr.
Thank you very
Bigger.
much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you too. All right, so let me run to some messages before I go to that story that I wanted to talk about so I don't forget it. Ife Nkem Umobodu says, thanks for speaking up. I appreciate it. Anthony Obiara says, greetings to you, Mrs. Precious. Thank you for what you guys are doing. VOP is really indeed the voice of the people. Thank you all. I appreciate you. Udo Lisa Franklin says, Precious, good evening. Now tell me, how can APC and Tinubu figure out that giving 25k to some few households will bring them out of poverty? He said, tell me, don't be juju be this. Let me go tell you. All right. So this message says, good evening, Precious dear. You are doing a great job. Please help Babachir from Oshodi and give special kudos and 21 buza to that Mr. Lawal, because he has declared a hidden super truth, which both are political INEC chairman, and PEPT could not declare or say. From the beginning, all the APC's national excuse members are all Muslims. It was later that Tinubu retreated from running with Buhari as his vice, that they brought Oshibajo for replacement, knowing fully well that the office of a vice president in Nigeria is powerless and useless. Please ask Tinubu, how did he know and intend to show those to borrow and share nominees of Nigerian families, the monies to Nigerian families? This says nobody can remove Tinubu, maybe including God, but let them know in the same way that nobody can remove the shame Tinubu has brought upon us himself. Pretty precious. Why is government deceiving us? What of the rice they are sharing now? Money again, only one particular people. There is God who Nkio put a sent in that message, and it says, I contribute. I would like to know the state you're from and your Twitter handle. My dear, the country is bleeding seriously. I'm a Nigerian. Forget about my states. I don't even believe in those states thing. I'm a Nigerian. Precious, I bet you. But if you do know, you know. Precious, I bet you the days of Babachir Lawal are numbered. Remember, Mailafia, the problems of Nigeria is we're quick to forget. Casey from heaven. All right, so there is this incident that happened. I think somebody did a video recording. Was it yesterday or today? Then I can't remember, but I saw it and I've been, really worried that how pupils of a particular primary school in Edo State don't have a classroom again to learn. And these kids had to practically kneel down and start begging the state government. In the video that was made, the particular guy who made the video was calling on the Edo State government to do something. That they all attended that school and some of their kids attended that school, but the present kids in that school now they could not even walk into their classroom. If you see the video, it's actually very heartbreaking because, it's like the roof, part of the roof had fallen, some of the walls had fallen and covered the front doors where the kids will have to work in because the building is that dilapidated. And that's the only school in that area, in that community. And according to the guy who made this video, he said that he had told, they had called the secretary to the local government, the secretary of education to the local government, right? Or the education secretary to the local government, that particular local government in Edo State. And the secretary had told them that they should take them to the next, some communities away to, they should transfer the children to another primary school that is, miles away. And then his question is, how can these kids walk from one community to another just to attend class? How can an entire community not have access to primary school, basic primary school? I wouldn't like to say that according to the universal basic education, this is actually like, a basic thing that children are supposed to have. I mean, primary education is basic and paramount. Let's take a listen to that and then I'll get back to take your thoughts and reactions.
I beg Governor Baseki, I beg may you come help Uzala community. Thank you. You don't no, 13 primary school Uzala. Now be this. The school don't destroy finish. Government not even they do anything. The teachers they manage primary 6. That was on only one video. Primary 6, primary 5, primary 4. That was even primary 3 don't even destroy finish. As they call this morning the 2 classes arbitrary where remain. The other one don't still for. Now children not fit enter class. Children not fit enter class. Fear not let teachers enter inside class. May has no go school not go collapse miss them. They just called the secretary to the local government for education for Uodena. They come and say, see as the school be. In the top story, he said make they relocate the children, go the next to primary school. Because we don't know where they are. The primary schools are do there. Now this school now we go time of Ani. Now this school now we go time of Ogbemudia. All the government where you come at this school. But we don't know why they leave this school. Our children don't want to go school again. Our children they don't they go school again. Government not they do anything. I bet they shut the building. But they see we're not the better. Are we not part of the government? Is Uzala not part of who want the local government? Now the community chairman. Now the community cause they build this one now. Because we went government, make government come. Government don't want to do anything. What thing we do now? What thing we do now? What thing what children do now? Una children not they go school. Una children not they go school. Then they call secretary. Secretary say they don't get what they go do. Make them relocate them. Go to community from here. Our children want to try go that side. Our children want to try go that side. I beg, with the beg. Now our children go need that. If they need that, they go need that beg government. The children more not need that. More not beg government. More not need that. More not need that. More not beg government. If they to beg them, now they go be here. Government. If they can need that, if they can need that, now go happen now. After more than 20 back, or 30 primary schools on that. More than 20 pounds, 30 primary schools on that. All of my children, your children told the beg Papa. Say, Papa, give me food, make I. That Papa never fail. Government, I beg Governor Baseki. I beg, may you come help with our community. Thank you.
So I had to raise this conversation because these are just little things that we keep sweeping under the carpet and we don't give, good media prominence. And I thought that, there are things that we should be bigger than now. So we know that the functionality of government is all round. It is not just about federal government. You're shouting, oh, federal government did not do this, president did not do this. This is the work of a state or local government. This is even the work of the local government anyway, not even that of the governor of the state. But then again, the local government chairman, do they have access to their funds? Do these governors allow them access to their funds from the federal allocation that they get, the one that is supposed to be due the local government? Do they have access to it the way they ought to? And are they using it for the, betterment of their people the way they ought to? This is the question. Just recently in the news, I was saying today that the Nigerian Governors Forum has expressed support to call for a state of emergency in education sector. It is now that we know we'll call for the state of emergency. This particular case is actually more than a state of emergency. Speaking to the National Conference of the Learning Crisis in Nigeria in Abuja Wednesday, the NGF chairman, Governor Abdulrazik Abdulrahman of Kwara State, said that resources must be provided for sustainable and promising education. He said a lot. I like the fact that all these governors have come together to say this, but they should also remember that the primary schools in their various communities are the responsibilities of the local governments, and they must also allow the local governments enough funds to run. Same with healthcare. If you go to most local governments, most communities, there is no healthcare. Why are we talking about multidimensional poverty? I hate that I'm getting emotional talking about this, but it's very painful. In a 21st century, there are things that human beings that God created, human beings in a country that is one of the largest producers of oil should not be facing. School, building collapse, and the children don't even have access to how to learn. You can see that calling primary one, each room is one class, primary one. Each room is another class, primary two. That is in a whole community. So there may be even 100 or 200 in one classroom. It doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? And we have money to use 130 or 160 million to buy vehicle for one House of Rep member, and there's a House of Rep member whose constituency that school is in. Imagine what 160 million would have done to schools and hospitals in that community. In the community or the constituencies of this House of Rep members. But it is more important for us to buy them cars to help their work. Which work? And what is the impact of their work? I don't know. I'm just getting emotional, but I just thought to talk about this because there are things that, we just look the other way in the media and we don't get to talk about it. So this is very important that we throw light on. Governor Godwin Obaseki, hear what is happening in your state. Our duty is to call out the things that you people do. And it is very, very annoying for us to have this kind of situation in the 21st century. I go straight to my phone lines, please. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, Precious.
Mr. Tony, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
You see, I'm sure, I'm happy that it's coming out from your mouth. You nearly, you said sometimes this type of thing pushes someone to be emotional. I'm happy that
I actually cried when I watched this. I was angry.
I just heard the voice of that man. I keep on saying that the 80% or 70% of the problem they have in Nigeria is the state government. All these governors, they will not do the roads. I bet you that in that Lagos that you are, majority of the road that people are using belongs to the state. Majority of the road that people are using day to day belongs to the state. They use federal road majority of times when they travel. Maybe I still bet you that majority of the road that connect from one state to the other is still under the state. But they will never do it. They send their children to abroad to come and study. You see why sometimes when you listen to all these things, I don't know, people don't see the way it is. Oh God, it's Obasanjo that I blame for all these things, because President Obasanjo wanted to do what? To go for second term. Atiku and the governors. The governors went to him, and then he handed over the account of the local government to them. Yeah. And that's the way this thing has happened. The governors are holding the money. Now some governors don't even do election for local government. They appoint any people they want, and then they are there. How do the development get to the grassroots? There are some roles that belong to the local government that local government is supposed to do.
How we did,
but they can't do it.
Thank you.
Because the money is not there. I met somebody that I don't want to call them the local government in Nigeria. And the person was telling me, how do you want them to do that road? When they want to go, if they sign a contract to go and do a road, they will tell them, okay, this contract, for example, is 1 million naira. You have to write 1 million, but we are going to give you 700. And if anything happens, the EFCC comes to investigate, is that them that wrote the 1 million that they'll be going after? But they didn't receive 1 million.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it so that we can talk to other people. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunichukudi. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we'll take a few more responses. Yusuf from Ijego says, he said, Nigeria is, he said Nigeria is a jungle, ordinary school. How did we allow these bad eggs ascend leadership position? Madam Precious, this is very shameful to Edo State and Nigeria. Do I agree with you? Very shameful, very embarrassing. Hello, good evening.
Hello? Yes. You muted me. I cannot hear you.
Are you serious? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Good evening, welcome. Welcome, apologies. Go ahead. This Nedu, right? Oh, Nedu. Not now. Can you hear us, Nedu? Hello? Unfortunately.
Okay. I can hear you very well.
Then go ahead, please, because at some point we get to lose you. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me go down. The school, it boils down to the local government, not the state government.
Nedu, we're losing your audio. We're losing.
The local government of our politics, of every.
Nedu, maybe you have to try to call us back. We're losing you. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes. Yes, please go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jessica. I'm calling from the.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you see this our government. Sometimes I laugh because we the Nigerian people we are the problem of ourselves. Understand? But the problem of ourselves. Number one, if you get to know all these things, okay, when you see a startup. Doing how they call it, doing some rally, protecting for small thing when you don't, everybody will run the full out for back. They don't know that something is there, teaching, where we say even care about. All the old 36 states, we don't have even performance school. The only those school, this is not get performance school. All the old 36 states, not get performance school. We are just managing to go to school, and most of them went to free schools. Good education and good class. But now, I want some now. They're not important. Everybody is concerned. This is exactly the same thing about the Muslim ticket. Nnamdi Kanu was crying about this issue, that people that are trying to paralyze this country, now they are arresting and putting in jail. Nobody is talking about it. Thank you. I rest my case.
Thank you too. All right. Yeah, a few responses. Nobleman says a House of Rep member is from that local government, and that is more interested in SUV. It didn't say they shock me, sir. So the SUV is actually more important. I'm just wondering, okay. Sure. Let me not talk too much. Hello, good evening. Yes, good evening and welcome. Hello. Can you hear me? Good evening. Hello. All right. Unfortunately, we can't hear you, but let's just do more messages. This says the kind of leadership we have is a reflection of our society. What do you expect from a decaying society? You can't give what you don't have. Good evening, Madam P. Geoffrey from Oshodi. This is painful. I don't even want to believe we don't have it. Hello, good evening. Okay, so I can't hear you, right? If you call and I can't hear you, perhaps you just help me take a break and then try to call back again so that we can see if we can hear you. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Precious.
Yes, please. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. It's Kelly from Italy.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me say something. I think the problem of Nigeria, sometimes I've been trying not to. Every day I listen to a program, but I try not to call.
Thank you.
Because I think Nigeria gives me PTSD. I'm not in Nigeria and I'm not supposed to, be bad about
we need PTSD, we need therapy. We're already overwhelmed with a lot of PTSDs. Every shock is giving us PTSD.
It's painful when you're outside and you're looking at your country, what you hear every day. You just get emotional to the extent you having PTSD, like you listening to the news or when I listen to your program, I just I started thinking what is the problem of Nigerians in Nigeria? I think the problem is nobody want die, but everybody want go heaven. Nobody wants to fight for what is right. They expecting another person to fight for what is right. You understand? It's like, see the way that guy was. I watched that video this morning when he was talking about.
You saw the video, right? It was very painful. At some point, I got teary. Really, no child deserves to be in that condition.
Let me tell you the truth. I couldn't watch that video to the stage where you played it so before I stopped watching it because it got me so emotional to see a school that dilapidated and you see kids standing and the senator from that place. They bought him a Jeep of how much? He took it and he's happy, excited to drive it. And
this is not peculiar to that school, I hope you know. In fact, there are schools that are worse. There are schools in worse situations in Nigeria, I can assure you. And guess what? There are schools in worse situations across all geopolitical zones, across all states in Nigeria. Not just as in this one is not whether north, east, or west or south. It's everywhere in Nigeria, and all of these people or all of these communities where you have these schools have representatives. They have leaders.
I think it has gotten to the stage where citizens of Nigeria who have to say it is a day of rage, which is protest, not just a protest of anger or violence. No work. No going out. Stay at home. All agencies must be closed till they change the system. Till the government change the system, which means give the province their money. If you don't give them their money and we don't see it on the screen, nothing is going to happen. You have to change the law.
So it's not just about giving them, or after giving them, what would they do with it? Don't we have the monies that governors are receiving themselves and other allocations? Okay, so do you think that if each fund is utilized properly, that Nigerians will be suffering or Nigerians will be complaining? See the roads. Just today, a woman made a video that she could not move a 5-minute drive from, I think, somewhere in Lagos, in Ajah to Shangote or where, it's taking her 5 hours, 5 minutes drive, 5 hours in traffic. On top of 600 naira for fuel. 5 minutes. It's crazy. It's not even it's not easy.
You try to help yourself create an excuse of why the reason is like this, so that you can just. That's what I've been trying to do. Like, I'll create an excuse for myself to say, "Oh, that is why this is like this." I saw a video today that even got me. Like, I didn't know what to say again, because when you see a road that you passed that road before, and that road was so smooth, and somebody is videoing it and showing you that this is this road again, and you are wondering, the road is gone, it's all gone. Guys, nothing is working, and you are hearing these governors, this local government chairman, these senators.
I appreciate you. I have to run. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. I do wish you had more time to talk about this, but I have to run. I was long overdue for a commercial break. A few messages here. He says you said you almost got emotional because of what you saw and heard about the school in this century. You felt that way because there is now social media. Imagine what had been happening to some parts of the country when there was no social media. My dear brother, it shocked me. Hello, Precious. I hope the people hear us and that is why I don't like commenting on radio. They hear. Why do you think they sanction stations? Why do you think I tell you cannot say some things on air? Because they hear you. Good evening, Precious. Our governors in Nigeria have totally crippled our local government. Can you believe that if a pregnant woman is coming for delivery in a primary health center, she must come with her fully charged lamp, or else she'll not be able to be admitted? No light, no generator, no power. Imagine that. Victor, are you serious? Victor from Ikorodu. Hello, Precious. My name is Daniel from Shomolo. How do you expect folks that encourage certificate forgery care about anything? Well, you know what, Lagos, let's take a quick break. I mean, this is what we'll call it a day on the show. Thank you so much for your thoughts, your reactions, every single thing. I appreciate you a whole lot. I'll be with you again tomorrow, hopefully, with Mr. Darlington at 6:30 p.m. Catch me across the social media platforms. Precious Enyi Official on Instagram, Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. This show is produced by Promise Enyi. Good night.
nke na-akpọta ugbu a n'Enugu steeti dịka gọọmenti Enugu chọrọ iji ijeri $40 billion were wulite akụnụba n'ala Igbo bụkwa nke Oji River Industrial Park so n'otu n'ime ya. Oji River Industrial Park bụ ụkpụrụ pụrụ iche gọọmenti steeti Enugu chọrọ iji kwalite akụnụba n'ala Igbo. Ọ bụ ndị Sellers Group na-arụ ahịa bụkwa nke ga-abụ ọkaibe na mba Afrịka gbaa gburugburu. Ọ bụ n'Ugwu Ọba bụkwa nke dị nso na Nnamdi Azikiwe University Ọka ka a ga-arụ ya. Ọ ga-abụ ahịa ihe niile ga-anọ n'otu ebe matakwa